Is it really worth coming to the USA anymore? 10 years ago, this was the template. Get a bachelor's in computer science or electronics and communication engineering, work for a couple years in India, and then come to USA for your master's, get a high-paying job on OPT, manage to get picked in the H&B lottery, then file a green card application, and then wait for a few years to get the green card. This used to be the standard path a few years ago, but not anymore. What if the entire H&B lottery is going to be replaced by a completely new system that will eliminate all the freshers coming out of a master's degree to not get H1Bs anymore? What if the job or the career you're seeking for is already being automated by AI agents? The F1 visa registration rate is now at an all-time high of 41%, and to add on to all of that, the estimated wait time for a green card is more than 100 years. So if you're someone who want to come to USA for a master's in 2026 and 2027 and you're confused on what decision to make, this video is for you. Let's dive in. My name is Sandeep, and in this video I talk about masters in US, data analytics and job search. So if you're someone interested in these topics, please consider subscribing to the channel. There are 4 main factors which are affecting the decision to do a master's degree in US. The first thing, obviously, the impact of AI. Anthropic CEO recently said that 50% of juniors will be replaced by AI in 2026. Google CEO, Salesforce CEO, Microsoft CEO already said that 30% of their code already been written by AI agents. But through a different perspective, I'm going to refer to AI2027.com. This website was actually built by a few people, including a former OpenAI researcher, Daniel, who actually resigned from the company, citing safety concerns over AGI, and his predictions have generally held well over the past few years. According to AI2027.com, by late 2026, AI has started to already take jobs, which causes turmoil in the job market, especially for junior software engineers. It's saying that AI can do everything that is taught by a CS degree. And if we scroll down further, by March 2027, there'll be fast and cheap superhuman coders that can equal the best human coder and also do the job multiple times faster. Humans will be overseeing all these AI agents because search taste is something which AI cannot do because it's a human quality that has been gained over multiple years of experience, and that cannot be replicated by AI. And by June 2027, they say that hiring new programmers will almost stop, and these predictions keep going until one point where there are 2 different possibilities that you can choose. One is a slowdown ending where humans are still in control of AI, and that is what the authors also endorse for. And there is other ending where AGI has completely taken over humans, which is very, very scary. That is what the authors think is more likely to happen compared to the slowdown ending. The next important factor that I want to talk about is the possibility of the new wage-based H&B selection process. Then there's a lottery which happens. There are a lot of people who go in, and then at the end 85,000 people get selected in that, and that's a pure random process. What Trump administration is now proposing is they want to move towards a more merit-based selection. The salary and the wage level is taken into account. The main argument of what they say is that the higher the wages, the higher the skill level. H&B is always a visa program that gives visas to high-skilled people. It seems a good idea, but the main drawback is this will effectively eliminate all the master's graduates who come out of the master's program and are fresh in the market, because they're just going to be paid lower in amount. They'll have almost a 0% chance in the H&B lottery. To give a bit detail, the Department of Labor has categorized each job into 4 different wage levels depending on the job title and location. So for example, a data scientist in Texas, level 1 earns at least 68K, level 2 92K, level 3 116K, and level 4 140K. Similarly, if you look for a data scientist in the state of California, level 1 is paid at 103K, level 2 is 133K, level 3 is 164K, and level 4 is 194K. You see, there's almost 40 to 50% difference in the same levels between the locations. So now if this new H&B selection comes into picture, level 4 people are going to get picked first, followed by level 3, and if there are slots remaining, then level 2. Level 1 is effectively eliminated in this process because they will have almost 0% chance, which is where all the fresh people coming out of the masters will fall into. This has actually been approved by the White House, and it's now going to be published in the Federal Register. It's going to go through a process where they open to the public, they get the feedback, and then they make updates, then they publish the final rule. And if the code doesn't object, or if no people protest for it, then this will be effective immediately in the next lottery. It's not an easy process. There is still a 20 to 30% chance that this might get implemented in the next lottery, but we have to just wait and watch. And the next important factor, which a lot of people have been keeping an eye on, is the job market in US. So if we look at the total number of big job postings, comparing this with last year, there's been a 4% increase in the number of postings. Unemployment rate is 2.8%, which is less than the national average of 4.1%. So if you look at these stats, the job market is slightly increasing, but there is also a different story if you look in depth. If you look at the number of tech jobs for 0 to 2 years of experience, comparing last year with this year, there has been a 3% decrease for that category. But if you look at 3.5 years of experience, it's 10% 10%, 6 to 9 years with 20%, and 10 plus is 17%. There's a clear trend happening. Stop hiring for entry-level roles and focus more on people with specialized skill and higher number of experience who can add immediate value to the business. And also, if you see this stat, the percentage of tech jobs that are AI and ML related is increasing at a steady rate. 35% of the jobs are AI and ML related. And the other thing which catches a lot of people is the number of tech layoffs. So if you see in 2024, there was like 152k layoffs. And if you look at this year, there's still like 4 months to go. There has already been 80k layoffs. So we clearly see that even though there are layoffs, the trend has been slower compared to the last 2 to 3 years. Layoffs which are happening this year looks like more targeted and more specific. They either target mid-level people who are earning high wages or like certain divisions in the company which are not contributing any value. And the most important reason they cite is restructuring of the company and investing more into AI. The fourth important reason I would say is the F1 visa rejections. It's now a 41% rejection rate and it's a decade-long high. Even between the months of March and May of this year comparing to last year, the total visas issued have decreased by 30%. And if you look at the most cited reasons what the US embassy gives, is that the students are not able to prove their intent to return back to India and there are like no strong ties to the home country. The other reason is like not having enough financial documents or proof to cover the cost of education. The students are not able to like prove why they want to go to US, why this degree and why this university. And the other thing what I'm seeing is there's like a lot of scrutiny over the social media accounts of the students as well. Any fraudulent activities, if any of that is found, then that's alright. But there is increased scrutiny, increased processing time, become a lot stricter compared to like 2017, 2018 when I came. It was like almost easy to get a F1 visa. Combining all of this, the four factors, I would say that coming to US is now really scarier and riskier compared to like 10 years ago when I came. So the $1 million question, who else can come? There's a certain segment of people for whom coming to US for the masters might make sense. Experienced professional. So if you have 3 to 4 years of relevant experience in your field of study, so if you want to do masters in computer science, then if you are a software engineer for 3 to 4 years, then you can come. If you're a software engineer for 3 to 4 years, and if you want to do a masters in data analytics, it's a completely unrelated field, and you would start as a fresher from scratch. Especially with the newly proposed H-1B selection, if it gets passed, and that effectively eliminates all these fresher jobs. Niche researcher, the people who do a PhD in a certain field, and also like people who want to do a master's in a very specific field like robotics or quantum computing or something related to AI or machine learning. So if you have a PhD, you basically have a 4 to 5 years of research experience. Hence, you're not starting as a fresher, you are like a specialist in that field. And also like if you have a PhD, you can be eligible for certain visas like O1 visa or the EB1 or the NIW, and hence they can bypass the H1B. And third category is what I term as the financially independent scholar. Basically, you have a very strong financial background. Pure goal of getting a master's in US is just knowledge and education and not immigration. In that case, you can consider coming to US, because if you want to just get a good education no matter what happens, and if you feel that even if you don't get a job or even if you don't get a shot at the H-1B lottery, you can still go back to your home country or maybe some other country like Canada or Australia, or maybe start your own business back in your home country. If you feel that you are in that category of people, then certainly you can come to US. Even if you feel that, okay, I still want to come to USA no matter what happens, you are welcome to come to US. But keep in mind that you always need to have a backup plan. So even if you manage to find a job on OPT, you must ready for a future where your H-1B might not get picked. So in that case, you would need to look at other options like Canada and Australia, where there's like a more clear path to permanent residency. If you still really want to stay in US, there are still other paths. It's like O1 and EB1 category of visas, and that will put you in a path to get a green card much sooner. That's it for this video. I hope you learned a lot. If you're still wondering how AI is shaping the future, especially in the field of data analytics and data engineering, I've made a complete video on how I'm using AI in my current role as a senior data analyst. Please feel free to check it out. It's in the link above. See you again soon on another video. Well then, bye from Sandeep.